Welcome to this episode of Be Quick with Mick, the world's fastest contingent workforce interview slash game show. I'm your host, Mickey Pelletier. Here's how it works. We'll start with an initial set of questions and we'll get to know our guests on a more personal level because we're more than just contingent workforce experts. We are real people. From there, we'll have them answer a question from our book of truth. We'll wrap up our show with a challenge round where our guests will play one of our contingent workforce related games. And since the name of the show is Be Quick with Mick, we'll need fast, short answers, no thinking, just speak your mind. Before I begin, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Direct Collective. All right, guest, tell me about yourself. Who are you? What would you say you do here?
Thanks for having me, Mickey. Dustin Talley, 17 years in the contingent workforce space. I now lead an online community of contingent workforce programs called Direct Collective.
Well, thanks for being here. All right, let's get personal. Question number one, if you can instantly learn any skill, what would it be?
I think I'd learn to code. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to learn, never did, never went back and, added that skill. But I feel like it could add a lot of value just knowing how to write some kind of application.
In the technical world we live in, yeah, it'd be nice to have that skill set. Question number two, if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
I'd say it and then I would take it back right away. But I think I'd like to read people's minds or know what they're thinking contextually about me. I think this comes from the people pleaser in me, right? You walk away from a conversation, you're like, what were they thinking the whole time? But it's a superpower I'd likely give back instantly.
Did you hear them say something negative about you? You may not want that skill anymore. I hear that. Number three, if you had a theme song that played every time you entered a room, what would it be?
All right. So I'm into Macklemore and some of those his type of music. There's a song "Can't Hold Us." That would be my pick.
Any reason that song?
So I like those victory anthem type songs that get you hyped and feel good and go conquer the world. Industry story real quick. I actually got to see him in person at a private event 2 or 3 years ago, and Colin McDonough from Worksome was there. And I've got an interesting video. Hopefully I'll share that at some point of him and I just going crazy at this concert.
You're going to have to post that once this airs. That's awesome. Question number four, what is your dream job if money wasn't a factor?
Dream job was always to be a landscape architect, go in and just design these amazing spaces, outdoor spaces. So you think of Disney World and, some of these places you go and it's just perfect, right? And that started with the planning piece of it, obviously, but that was my dream job. Still kind of is.
I didn't ever pick you for a landscape artist. That's very cool. All right, now it's time for the Book of Truth. Dustin, I need you to pick a number between 1 and 600 for a random question.
All right. Number 73. That's my son's soccer number.
Okay, here's a good one. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever seen someone else do?
So, and this will be in the space, but I'll not mention names. We were doing a co-hosted review for someone, right? Year-end review for one of our employees at one point in time. And the person conducting the review and sharing their screen happened to also be sharing their chat, which they were having with me during this one-on-one. And so some things were said that should not have been shared in an online sharing kind of way.
Definitely a cringe-worthy moment.
Made for a fun afternoon of events that followed. To say the least.
I can only imagine. All right, Dustin, time to move on to the challenge round. Here are your options of challenges. Pick one and I'll explain the rules. There's the yes-no opinion gauntlet, word association, never have I ever, finish the sentence, and would you rather.
Let's go with would you rather.
So I'll present you with two challenging scenarios related to the contingent workforce world, and you have to choose one quickly. We'll see how many we can get through in 60 seconds. So we'll get the timer started here and let's go. Would you rather be known for building a cost-effective contingent workforce program or one that's renowned for innovation and creativity?
Creation and however you say that.
Would you rather work with a high-maintenance, non-compliant, but highly productive staffing agency or an easygoing, compliant, but less productive one?
Man, I'll go easygoing. I like easygoing.
Would you rather manage a project with a tight budget but flexible timeline or a project with a large budget and a rigid deadline?
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go with flexible. I like agile, build as you go, figure it out.
Would you rather negotiate a contract with a difficult supplier or resolve a conflict between your contingent workforce program and an engagement manager?
I'll do resolve the existing issue, conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution. All right, Dustin, that wraps up the challenge. I want to thank you for taking the time to sit with me and have some fun. And thank you to all our listeners for listening to us today. Everyone have a great day.